In an early morning police raid, Swiss authorities were seen escorting several senior FIFA officials from Zurich's luxury Barolak hotel.
It's not good in terms of image. It's not good in terms of reputation.
7 men at the hotel were arrested, including FIFA Vice President Jeffrey Webb. 8 others have been indicted. Charges include money laundering, racketeering, and wire fraud.
It's one of the longest-running jokes in the global sport community, the one where FIFA, the governing body for soccer, is run by benevolent individuals who care about the sport and would never stoop to anything illegal or immoral just to suck more cash out of countries and fans who live on about $1 a day in some places. Now, the most corrupt sports organization on earth, as many people know it, may finally be getting the hammer they have so long deserved. But are they just too powerful and too wealthy to have it make a noticeable dent in the way they do business? So let's get to it. Welcome back to MidPoint. The man who started the concept of following and dissecting sports business, the sports professor, Rick Horrow. Good to see you again, Professor. But boy, I'll tell you, this is one that the lawyers are going to be talking about for a long time.
Yeah, but also you've never gotten me so interested in a particular topic that I just have in the last 6 hours. I just finished the PR statement by the Department of Justice and read all the indictments. And FIFA, as you like to say, has got a lot of explaining to do.
So when you look at the indictments, then, what do you think, then, put your lawyer hat on, that they would seem to have really hard evidence here? And they've spent a lot of years looking into this. This is not something they just did in a couple of months.
Well, let's remember, this is a global intra-cooperative investigation that involves the top police investigative units all over the world. I think a lot of people are singularly upset at how FIFA's done business, and it crosses borders. So this is not just an issue of the U.S. not getting the 2022 World Cup and Qatar getting it. It crosses all over every element of soccer. And take a look at the numbers. 209 countries, 41 organizations. They make about $7 billion a year from annual operations. And by the way, some of it, about 70% of it, is from the TV rights to the World Cup. So if the World Cup is going to a place that people don't like, that is a beginning of the investigation. If the process is scandalous, there's another issue. So what strikes me is the scope of this investigation. The fact that there are a number of people that have pled guilty and it's been sealed for a couple of years means there are a lot of facts that the law investigators have been working on for the last 2 years based on guilty pleas before they even came to today. So it is a massive investigation.
Two things that come to mind right away. First of all, to say that people are upset at how FIFA could get involved in this, that in itself is hysterical because, as I pointed out, anybody who knows that FIFA has been a corrupt organization for years. No one's proven it. The second thing is you get the feeling that Sepp Blatter, who's at the head of FIFA, he wasn't indicted, but you got to figure that he's going to be a target sooner or later because he had to know what was going on.
Well, let's understand this. He wasn't indicted, but the press release and all of the public statements by the Department of Justice and everybody around the world says, by the way, the indictments probably aren't over. So you better watch yourself. And also, this is an opportunity in any phase of a criminal investigation. You see who wants to play ball that hasn't pled guilty already, and you get those to play ball. Then you expand your investigation by the number of people who've played ball before. This is very well thought out and very methodical. And it's not the end of sponsors with soccer, but it may be the end of sponsors with FIFA.
Well, that's another thing, too, very quickly, because there's talk in this indictment that there's a sneaker company that's involved that might have been actually taking or giving some of the favors here. That's got to be Nike. That's the only one that I can think of who's involved in FIFA, so they've got to be worried.
Well, that's not necessarily true. I mean, Adidas could be directly involved. There are other sneaker companies that could be. So, I don't want to get on the bandwagon yet because we'll find out about that soon enough. But the bottom line is there are management companies, Trafic Sports. They have a lot of holdings in South Florida. You may want to see the Qatar 2022 games enjoined or held up. You may have some transactions that are soccer related that are enjoined or held up. So everything right now that's happened over the past few years is under mammoth scrutiny.
Is it fair to say, 60 seconds left, that a lot of this really picked up steam when the whole Qatar scenario wound up here and a lot of this back and forth happened there over that bid?
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that it's an organization that needed to be squeaky clean anyway because by definition, by the way, Ed, you disappoint a lot of people. You award a World Cup to one entity and 5 go away unhappy. And that's just a normal selection process. But if they go away unhappy because the process has a problem, then FIFA has a problem.
Do you think that the 2018 and the 2022 World Cups or any of the current ones on the docket are in danger of not being played?
I think it's too early to tell. I don't think it's in danger of not being played. The money is too great, but I think there is some danger about the current venues and certainly the selection process.
But you would know that right now they're going to be looking at this, so there's a possibility that something might happen. Maybe they won't be canceled, but there might be some sort of changes in the actual events.
I will tell you this, if there are listeners who are glued to this set and network because they want to hear the full FIFA story, continue to watch Ed Berliner.
I got you, because what have I got? I got the sports professor here, and I got the guy who has read all the indictments. That's all I need. And by the way, Rick Horrow is going to join us this evening on the Hard Line coming up at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Thank you, sports professor.
I'm going to reread it. I'm going to reread all this
Go
stuff.
back to read. We'll catch you all that. Coming up next, from the ridiculous to the sublime. That means we're heading to Outland on MidPoint.